Hi, and welcome to Always Dolls. Today we are crafting pies for the dolls to enjoy. Start by choosing your pie pan. Some good options include aluminium mini quiche pans, upcycled custard tar pans, or for a similar look to Maryellen's block party set, use the cap from a small toiletries tin. To make the pie dough, combine white and yellow air dry clay. Roll and stretch the clay until you get a soft butter yellow colour. Just like real dough, roll the clay out flat. You want to achieve an even thickness. I lightly misted my pie pan with water before placing some cling wrap inside. The cling wrap will stop the clay from sticking to the pan, so I can remove the finished pie later. Now drape the pie dough over the top and press it into the pan with your fingertips. I used my thumbs to make sure the dough goes up the side walls. With a sharp blade or knife, cut away the excess dough. Clean up any rough edges. I used blue air dry clay for blueberry pie and red air dry clay for cherry pie. I've also got some black clay as filler. For Melody's cherry pie, create a thick disc of filler clay and press it firmly into the pie. Now set it aside to dry. For a more traditional blueberry pie, create a disc of blue clay and press this down into the pan. Use your blue clay and roll out little berries. Place them onto the disc, starting from the outside edge and working your way in. I decided I wanted to be able to cut a slice of pie later. Using the straight edge of a ruler, I made impressions into the clay where I would later cut. I also made sure not to place any berries over the impressions. Now flip over the pans and remove them from the pie. This is where the cling wrap makes it really helpful. Leave them face down to air dry for a few hours. While waiting, you can work on making the pie crusts. Roll out more dough-coloured clay and using a metal ruler, apply pressure to cut long, thin lines. Now to basket weave. Arrange 5 strips vertically and peel 2 back, as shown. Place 1 strip horizontally in the centre and lay the 2 vertical strips over top. Next, peel back the opposite 3 vertical strips. Place another horizontal strip as shown. Then lay the 3 vertical strips over top. Repeat this process until you have enough weaved pie crust to cover your pie. While the clay is still tacky, carefully peel up the pie crust and place it onto your pie. Press down on the edges to ensure a good connection between pie and pie crust. Using sharp scissors or a knife, cut off the excess. It's time to texture the pie. Drag and flick your toothpick into the clay to roughen up the surface. The more texture, the better the final result. You will also need to cut into the pie crust to separate the body of the pie from the slice you intend to cut later. Lastly, roll a snake of dough-coloured clay that is long enough to encase the pan. Place this around the edge of the pie crust. Then add detail using your toothpick. It's good to check that all the edges are sealed together before setting aside the pie to dry completely. Switching back to Maryellen's cherry pie, roll a thin sheet of red clay and cut a circle shape to place over the top of the black disc. Melody's pie crust is a little different, so find different sized circle cutters to help you make a donut-shaped piece. Then, basket weave strips of clay as shown earlier in this video. Lay some cling wrap over the pie first, then place the pie lid on top, but flip it upside down. Taking small pieces of red clay, fill the gaps between the basket weave. This looks like big chunks of fruit bursting out of the pie. Now you can permanently join the lid, right side up of course, to the pie, pressing firmly on the edges to seal them. Give the piece at least 24 hours to dry out completely. It's time for paint. Using yellow ochre acrylic paint, dry brush the top of the pie. Immediately, you'll start to see all the detail and texture you created in the dough. This colour gives the pie a good cooked look. You can add a second, heavier layer around the crust. Don't forget to shade the sides and the bottom. Taking a darker brown, like raw sienna, stipple this onto just the tops of the pie and edges of the crust. This will add more depth and give those areas a darker cooked look. For finishing touches, mix Dimensional Magic with red or blue paint and cover the berries visible in your pie. They will now look juicy and glossy. Make sure to let the paint dry completely. If you want to seal your pies, you can use Sculpey Gloss Glaze or clear nail polish. Now your dolls have a variety of pies to serve in their kitchen or sell at a diner or farmer's market. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave a like and don't forget to subscribe for more miniature crafting fun.